steps to a better Sunday school class. Last week we talked about engaging people. We're still going to talk about engaging people, but this is part 2, okay? So if you haven't seen part 1, go back and watch part 1, come back and we'll dive into part 2 here, okay? But when we talk about engaging people, we engage people within our class setting, but we also engage people outside of our class setting. And as teachers, we need to set the example of engaging people outside of the classroom as well. Just pick one person a week that you need to engage with in your class, especially the visitors, right? Just say, hey, once a week, I'm going to talk to one person in my class. I'm going to send them a text. I'm going to give them a phone call, just check and see how they're doing. I'm going to pray with them. All right, that's what you can do as you go through. Another thing to do is that we have guests that are coming to our church on a regular basis. You want to know a great strategy for growing your Sunday school class? Look for guests that are already here. Look for people that aren't in Sunday school that are already here. Engage them. Invite them to your Sunday school class, right? So if you're a business person, you're trying to get new business, right? And you're not afraid to go up and ask people, hey, come buy our products. Come by and check us out. Now, we're not peddling the gospel, but we've got to be engaging people to get the opportunity to share the gospel. So when you walk into a worship area, we love our own seats, don't we? I kind of sit in the same area every week. My family sits there. And when I look around, I always joke with people. I'm like, you're sitting in the wrong section. Don't you sit in that other section? But we joke around with things like that. But when you walk in, have a couple of people assigned to the 3 sections in our worship. We got the organ side, we got the pulpit, and then you got the piano side. Just say, hey, when you walk in, you're in charge of this section. I'll take this section, and someone else can have that. You're looking for people you don't know. Now, they may have been a member of this church for 3 years, but this is your first time seeing them. That also means they're probably not in a Bible study, but walk up and introduce yourself. Say, hey, I haven't seen you here before. I don't know your name, but I'm Michael Blue, right? I teach it. Are you involved in a Sunday school class? First off, you'll find out if they're a guest, or what you're going to do is find out they're a member you haven't met before. So either way, you're engaging someone. So you look at them and just say, hey, I just want to introduce myself. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're a part of our church, right? If they're a guest, boom, you're there. Hey, I just want to say hi. Is this your first time here with us, or have you been here with us before? Oh, okay, this is your first time here. Were you new to the area, or are you just, trying us out for the first time? I've done that the past couple of weeks. Most people have been, no, we've lived here for 5 or 6 years. We decided to try church finally. I mean, it's taken 5 to 6 years to even try to find a church. And all of a sudden, you're in conversation. Okay, this is your first time here. You're trying out a new church, or you're new to the area trying to find a new church. And you're engaging them, right? So I'm getting names. As I'm getting names, I leave. I text the teacher, or I text the other 2 people in the other 2 sections. Say, hey, I just met a guest in my section. At the end of church, try to grab them. And what we try to do is have multiple engagement points. So that way, when they leave, 2 or 3 people from that class have already invited them to Sunday school class. So if I take the organ side, kind of where I like to sit, and I see there's guests there, I introduce myself. I get their name. I text the person in the pulpit section, the person in the piano section, and afterwards, we try to flip-flop and say, hey, I just invited someone to our class next week. I told them what room number we're in, and it's so when they walk up and they're leaving, hopefully 2 or 3 people from your Sunday school class have already come up and said, you know what, we want you to come be a part of our Sunday school class. Come check us out. And you're like, well, that person invited me to Sunday school class. It's in the same room as that person that invited me to Sunday school class. And it's in the same room that person invited me to Sunday school class. They really want me to come to Sunday school. So next week, if I'm thinking, what class am I going to? I'm not pulling out a brochure and just hand-picking which one it is. I'm going to the one I've invited to. So we need to be engaging people outside of the class. By engaging the guests in the worship center, guests will likely return if they feel that the church wants them here. Last year, we did a Hope Sunday. We had guests coming, and we had a guest that came in the parking lot, but they didn't see the person that invited them here, and they were about to turn away and leave. And they texted him, and that person said, no, I'm here. I'm walking out front to meet you. So what that says to us is that we had people that got up, got dressed, came to church, got to the parking lot of the church, and felt so anxious and awkward that they still thought, maybe I shouldn't walk through the doors, because they were afraid of walking in and no one talking to them. They were afraid of walking in and feeling like they stuck out like a sore thumb. When we have an atmosphere of engaging people, of greeting people and inviting them, not just saying hi, not just waving at them, hey, it's good having you here, but hey, it's good having you here and we have a place for you. That speaks a lot to our community. That speaks a lot to our guests that come in. We have room for you. Not you got to earn your way in, but it's that seat's there. It's been waiting for you. It has your name on it already. We want you there every week. Okay? So engaging people, they will likely to return. Growing up, I moved several churches. I know what it's like to feel like coming into a new church, right? We need to remember and always have that feeling at the forefront of our mind when we walk into church. Remember, I used to be a guest here. How can I help a guest feel welcome and engage them today so they can come back next week? Because we want them here. All right? So, as another pastor put it, the gospel should be the only thing that offends people when they attend, not the church facilities or the people. When people walk and come into our church, the only thing that should offend them is the gospel itself. That we preach the gospel, that we preach the truth of the Bible. That offends them, there's nothing we can do about that. That's between them and God. But if they walk in and say, well, no one spoke to me, that's on us. So make sure that the gospel is the only thing that offends people when they come to our church. Hopefully the gospel doesn't offend them. Hopefully they receive the gospel. But let it not be because we weren't prepared, we weren't ready, we weren't engaging, and we didn't care that they were here. It's so hard to reach them again. Engage people when they come here. Make them feel welcome. Make them feel comfortable as best you can. Invite them and say, we have a place for you. Jesus has a place in your life, and we got a place in our Sunday school class for you. We got a place here at our church for you. We want you here. That's going to change the dynamics of our church. That's going to change not just our church, but the community around us, because they're going to look and say, that church wants people to come. And so as we wrap up our second part here, we need to be an engaging people so that, one, we can have a better Sunday school class. By having better Sunday school class when we engage people, we have a better church. And then we have a better community that follows.